Hey there, bestie. I'm Lori Emmy, your What to Read Next podcast host. Join me as we dive into exciting new reads that'll have you reaching for your TBR pile in no time. From group of mysteries to spicy romances, we'll explore it all and help you find your next favorite book. So grab a cup of tea, cozy it up, and let's discover some amazing reads together. Hi, Courtney. Welcome to What to Read Next podcast.
Hi, thank you so much for having me. I'm so excited.
So happy to have you here. Tell us what everybody you've been up to.
So I have been on summer break, and so summer break doesn't mean summer break for me. It means that I then get to put on my writer's hat and my content creator hat, and then I basically pretend like it's my full-time job. And I am up at 5 a.m. and work until I go and pick up the boys. And so I've been editing a new book that I just started asking for beta readers for. It's called Literary Stitches. And then I've been, yesterday I was designing bookmarks and ordering them for Death on Deck. And so just a whole bunch of different like bookish fun stuff.
So we gotta talk about, because you were a cozy reader for the past 7 years, and then you switched over to author, a cozy author.
Yes.
So talk about your cozy journey. Like, where did you get started?
Yeah.
How did you go from reading to actually writing and to actually producing an audiobook? So it's like the whole word.
Yeah, the whole 9 yards. So I have always wanted to be a writer. There were times when I was a kid that my favorite books were the Mary-Kate and Ashley Olsen adventure novels.
Yeah.
Literally just the Red Slipper one is just so darn good. And so I would write my own adventures. And instead of it being Mary-Kate and Ashley, it would be me and my little sister. And I just loved them so much. And so, but then I took a break from writing for a really long time because I never thought that I was good enough. Like, I was like, Courtney, you're a reader. Just stay in your lane is sort of what I had myself do. And then in 2017, I found the BookTube community. And I was very much into like cozy mysteries, but there was no one on BookTube with cozy mysteries at all. Like, I searched high and low, and I was complaining to, he was my boyfriend, but my husband now, I was complaining to him, and he goes, well, then why don't you just be the cozy mystery person online? And I was like, well, I mean, I would have to learn how to edit and then record. And then he goes, okay. And so sort of, I'm very competitive, and I don't like it when someone tells me like that I can't do something or challenges me. I'm like, yeah, no, I'm going to rock it. Like, don't tell me no. So I just started reviewing books online and fell in love with the Bake Shop Mystery series by Ellie Alexander, who has become like my big sister when it comes to like cozy mysteries and writing. And in 2019, she actually released a mystery masterclass writing course. And she was like, hey, this is a new endeavor for me. Would you be willing to take the course? Because I know you've been talking about writing. She's like, do you want to try the course? And I was like, okay, yeah, I do. And so my husband and I got married in October of 2019, and we went on a cruise for our honeymoon. And there were these 4 feisty ladies that were sitting in front of my husband and I. And my husband and I just started making up a mystery because I had brought only like vacationing cozies with me in my like embroidered flower, like fanny pack. Like, I was that person walking around the cruise. So we just started making up things, and I started writing Death on Deck on my honeymoon. Like, my husband went and like procured stationery from like the little like podiums that were in like around the ship, and they have like the cruise labels on it, and you have my handwritten note about like all of my feisty ladies. And that's sort of like, it just took off. Like, I just started writing in 2019.
And now you're published. You're getting published.
I am.
So
yeah, I'm very excited. My publisher is the Wild Rose Press, and they're a small indie publisher. and they decided to take a chance on me and my cruising crew, my feisty ladies, and it's been a whirlwind. Since they're smaller, they can do things a lot faster.
Yeah.
And so I got the offer I sent it in November, got an offer in January, and then started editing it Death on Deck with my editor and with a copyright editor or a copy editor. And then my book was finished to be being edited at the end of, I think, April of this year.
Mhm.
And then they gave me the publishing date of September 30th of this year. And guys, I did not realize that publishing date is the anniversary of the very first episode of Murder, She Wrote. I was like, how serendipitous, like how just utter perfection
Yeah.
is that? Like I can't even formulate words. I was just so flippin' excited when I found that out.
So I love that. I love the journey. Like you went from a reader to a writer to like an accidental writer of coming up with the story in your honeymoon where you're not supposed to be writing, and then
Right? Yeah.
writing the book, and now getting it published, and not just getting it published, you're also producing the audio, which is like
Yes.
another key. Like there's something that people don't think about it, but like it's accessibility is one thing, but the other part is expensive undertaking. So talk to us about producing the audio part, because it's actually it might be like something.
Yeah, so it is really up to the publisher whether or not they're going to include the audiobook rights within your contract.
Mhm.
And since the Wild Rose Press is such a small publishing house, they do not add in the audiobook rights to the contract. So they take a cut of physical book sales and ebook sales, but the audiobook sales are 100% me. And so I was so lucky enough that I make some money off of my YouTube channel and my book club and things like that. I was actually able to take all of my earning and pay for my audiobook narrator through my hobby. And so I was able to I had to go and I found a website called voices.com, and then I put out samples of Death on Deck, and I actually had auditions for Death on Deck, and I listened to them all, and I also had to, like, I messaged and asked questions, like, can you do 4 different older feisty ladies? Can you do, how do you feel about doing Midwestern accent? Things like that, because my ladies are based in Oklahoma where I live, and so some of us speak a little bit different than if my audiobook narrator is from Boston. Like, that doesn't necessarily work for Oklahoma, y'all. Like, it just doesn't. It's been so amazing, and I found Alice Hackle, and she is a retired reading teacher, and she is, as an educator myself, I just automatically was drawn to the fact that she was in education. And like you said, I am big on accessibility. I predominantly listen to audiobooks. And so I feel like I could not put Death on Deck out in the world without making it available to every single person in any way that I could. And so I just listened to chapters, I think it was 24 or 25 this morning. And there's 34 chapters in the book. So she's almost done. And it sounds absolutely amazing. I sent the first chapter to my newsletter group, and I had so many messages telling me how perfect she sounds and just how excited they are for the audiobook to come out.
Right, I'm so excited, and I am gonna request it so libraries can order it.
Yeah,
Publishers and see it on Audible and see it all the different places, but definitely I'm looking for that too. So
I'm so excited. Like, it's just slowly becoming more and more surreal. Like, as we get closer to the date and as I start making merchandise for book signings and things like that, I'm like, oh, this is really real. This is real.
but talk to us Death on Deck. What is the elevator?
Okay, so the elevator pitch is basically the Golden Girls meets the Divine Secrets of the Ya Sisterhood with tasty adult beverages. Yeah. Yes, set on a cruise. And so Our main characters we've got Lisa Mae Medee, and she is a retired professor forced into retirement. So she's not very happy about that. We have Bev, who is the sweet, plump, cuddly grandma who loves cross-stitching and bright colors, who recently, her husband passed away. So all of my women have new chapters in their lives that have sort of come to head. Wilma is a retired ER nurse, and she is finally able to think about just herself when it comes to life, because she had a lot of things, trials and tribulations put on her that she has not been able to selfishly think of herself in her 60 years of being alive. And then we've got Charlotte, who is a retired librarian and best-selling author of a mystery series where she just killed off her main character, and her publisher is threatening to drop her. Fans are rioting, and so they're all ready to unplug and go off on a new adventure with each other.
And then there's some murder.
Yeah. There's just some murder, no big deal.
Just for the reader who's not familiar with cozy mysteries, the cozies are basically will have a murder of some sort, but they're not visual, they're not on page, or they're not gory or any trigger warnings. It's pretty much off page. It's just part of a plot. It just moves the plot forward, and the mystery burns, and things get resolved at the end. I think that's pretty the conventions of a cozy mystery. So that way, if you're looking for something that's a little bit, I think it's perfect for the fall. If you're not, you're a fan of like doing horror books, cozy mysteries are a good place to go. There's paranormal cozy mysteries, there's regular cozy mysteries, there's small town, there's millennial cozy mysteries, which we have called. So there's cozy mysteries set in big cities, small towns, all over the place, and vacation, and obviously this cozy mystery. So
yeah, all of the hobbies, knitting, crocheting, I mean, galore, scrapbooking.
Yeah, the food.
Oh, the food ones. The food ones make me gain weight so fast because I'm like, yeah, I deserve a raspberry cheese Danish right now.
Yes.
Do I need it? No, but I mean, the book is telling me how delicious it is, and I believe it.
Or all the cupcakes, or all the bake shop things, or the cheese.
Yes.
I do love the cheese and the wine. There's a wine.
Yes, I've had. There are. It's so good. The apple cider ones get me whenever they're on a orchard. Oh, so good. I'm drinking cinnamon tea right now because I'm pretending that it's fall, even though it's horribly hot in Oklahoma. I'm just going to force it to be fall.
Oh, God. So, what's recommendations? Because you have a couple cozy mysteries to finish off after we read that from that. And give us a recommendation let me know what I need to read next.
There are so many books that I think that you should read next. 100%. If you are new to cozies, this is like, I am the book pusher for the Bake Shop Mystery Series by Ellie Alexander. Basically, I love the world that Ellie has created with relationships, and there's 19 books. So if you want to binge a really good series, like this is what you do. I have made so many recipes from her books. Like I actually have videos on my YouTube channel of me testing out her. Oh my goodness. I've done scones. I've done coffee drinks. I've done all different kinds of things, and they're so good. But think of it as Gilmore Girls meets like a bake shop. It's so amazing.
And you have to go to Ashland and do the mysteries. I thought that actually, like that's like a. So you get to go live the Ashland. Go to the
I do. Yeah, and I'm actually doing my very first author event this year at the Ashland Mystery Festival. I'm going to be having a book signing, and then me, Spencer from Intentionally Bookish, and TJ from Beach Bum Bookworm, we're all going to be hosting a podcast for an hour and a half talking about all things cozy and the cozy community in Ashland. And I just am like, what is my life? Like, people want to actually see and talk to me. I don't know what to do.
Yeah, so I think that's something unique about this series. It's like you can go to the small town. I was telling my friend Kelly, she was driving from San Francisco to Portland, and her middle stop was Ashland. And she's like, oh, it's a Shakespeare. I was like, no, there's like cozy mystery out there.
Oh my goodness.
There's the bake shop, there's the murder, there's the mystery.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, you gotta read this book,
Yeah, and Lithia Park, and I have never seen such a small town have so many thriving bookshops. It's utter perfection, Hallmark worthy, views, and to go during fall where everything is just so autumnal. I'm so excited for October to come. It's going to be glorious.
Thank you for engaging me with this tangent.
Of course. Yes. Another book that I have is Magic Lies and Deadly Pies by Misha Pop. So that is more of a millennial cozy. So it's going to push the boundaries of a traditional cozy a little bit more. It might not necessarily be a traditional cozy mysteries cup of tea, but it's like a crown jewel for me. Our main character, she has magic, and her magic is in making pies for bad guys. It does touch on women who are being mistreated, and they sort of reach out to our main character and ask for help. So she makes these pies that sometimes kill the guys. And I'm just kind of like, I mean, they deserved it. They're not nice people. So I'm like low key clapping my hands for the murder. I'm also like, Courtney, is there something wrong with you? But it's so good and so well written, and it's just so funny too. She says the thing that I think in my head, and it's glorious.
I'm excited for that one. I did see the audio a couple times and I was like, oh, I should pick it up. So now that you're selling me, and I'm like, oh yes, I'm here. You women in the 21st century. It's like, yeah, this is part of coming to that
audiobook. The audiobooks are so good. So good. Another one I have is actually, it's her debut book, and she's a good friend of mine. She actually took Ellie's writing course with me at the same time, but it's Resort to Murder by Annie McEwen. This series is a hug in a book. Her family, the main character's family, I want them to be my mom and dad. They just feel so wholesome, so real, and I just love it. Our main character is coming home because she got fired from the design position that she was in, and she goes home to this resort that her parents own. It's a whole bunch of little cabins, and there's fluffy dog companions and a feisty, sassy best friend, which I am always here for. And it's just so good. I just love it so much. I already read book 2 that just came out, and it's Dead, White, and Blue. And it's a 4th of July mystery. And it was also so amazing. So good.
Oh my gosh, I'm so excited for the series. This is a new to me one. So I'm excited to add this to my list.
Yeah, you have to. And then I think my last one, or I've got 2 more, but so another one is a magical cozy, because we can't forget our magical cozies. And it is Steeped to Death by Gretchen Rue. It is a mix of magical and everyday life. It feels like life would be for real if there were magic. And I absolutely love it. She lives in a house that, in my mind, it looks like the Practical Magic house. And her aunt has recently passed away and has sort of left the house and the tea shop to her, and she's starting anew. And again, there is another feisty kitty cat, and of course there's murder, but I don't really I come to cozies for the murder, but I stay for the coziness. I stay for the community that's being built per book. And so Gretchen Rue's done a really good job with that series. And I think there's at least 4 in that series right now.
We're excited for that one. Oh my God. These are great recommendations. So, Courtney, who else we can find you online?
Yeah, so you can find me at Courtagonist.com and anywhere on any of the social medias as Courtagonist. My author name is Courtney Bradley, but I was Courtagonist before I was Courtney Bradley. So you can just type in Courtagonist. It's like antagonist and protagonist, but with my name, and come and say hi. I love meeting new people.
Awesome, Courtney. Well, thank you so much for being on the show.
Yeah, thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
Thanks for joining me on this episode of the What to Read Next podcast. If you enjoy our bookish conversations and want more recommendations, don't forget to subscribe so you never miss an episode. Also, head on over to the What to Read Next blog for a list of books mentioned in today's show. Happy reading!